it is an absolute pleasure to introduce Sir Kenny Dalglish. And everyone's coming back and saying, yeah, but Chelsea had a young team as well. But had a young team that cost a gazillion pounds.
And there's a match going on in the car park. Scottish fans against the Brazilian fans. We get beaten the game, mind you, but we won in the car park.
You didn't actually go and watch him play, did you?
Huh?
That is a dying art.
Whatever he wants to do, they'll stand by him and they'll accept what he's going to do. The problem is, how does the club go forward?
Welcome to another episode of No Tippy Tappy Football, brought to you by William Hill. And it's a very busy and excited studio today because my goodness, do we have a guest for you today, Tim? I am so excited. Oh, and we have Tim. Tim Sherwood is here again.
I'm not the reason.
Thank you. Yes, I mean, I'm always excited when you're here, Tim. Thank you. But would you like to introduce our superstar guest for today?
Yeah, we got a very special guest. He's the guy who gave me my greatest moment in football. And it is an absolute pleasure to introduce Sir Kenny Dalglish.
Kenny, welcome.
I thought I sold you.
So did I.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so thrilled to have you here. Obviously, you and Tim have a lot of history together. In terms of Tim, what was he like to manage? What was he like to be around?
No, I think he was part of a very special group of people at Blackburn. I think they were good on the pitch, but they were even better off the pitch. The camaraderie, the friendship, the team ethic and the spirit was fantastic, and that went a long way to getting the success that they got. So, no, it was brilliant there. He came from Norwich eventually, and then we were a wee bit naive at Blackburn. The boys were good as gold, but Jack Walker had just come in and was putting the money in, and we were having to move forward quickly. And to move forward, you need to get people that are comfortable in that area and people who are a wee bit sharp upstairs. And obviously, being a Cockney, we thought he'd be a wee bit sharp. We were disappointed when he came. But no, so it was just an integral part and a really important part of the boys at Blackburn was how good they were with each other and how good the dressing room was.
But that don't happen. That's not because of the signing. That's because of the atmosphere. What Kenny and Ray Hartford, Tony Parks, Asa Hartford. So many great guys there. And they built that. It doesn't just happen by signing players. You need to sign the right characters. But in the end, because the hierarchy is like that, even the owners and the secretary and the chief exec, just top drawer, straight guys. And you realise that. And if anyone come with attitude, we knocked it out of them quickly as possible. And it was no them and us. We were all in it together. I'd never, ever been to a club, and that was early stage of my career, where the players and the management and the owners and the directors sat on the same table for dinner. But we did that there. It was about everyone. It wasn't them and us. It was nothing like that. It was just all togetherness, and we're all going in the same direction, and we all wanted one thing. And eventually we got it.
But Ray Hartford was brilliant.
Yeah.
As a coach. Tony Parks picked up the scraps before we went there. He'd been there for a long, long time, Tony. And the manager got the sack. I think they were second bottom in the league. Tony went in as a replacement and took them up to mid-table. And then that's when I came in and with Ray Hartford. And Tony really knew the club back to front. So for us, it was massive and hugely important for us to know what was going on in the club. And although Ray would do most of the coaching, Tony was an integral part of it as well.
Kenny, do you remember the first time Uncle Jack rang you and asked you to take over as manager?
He never rang.
He didn't?
No. It was...
Robert
I remember seeing the newspaper clippings, and it was saying that they were after us in Sudan and people of that ilk. And I'm saying to myself, is this a joke? Because Blackburn were, as I said, they were in the second division and they were at the bottom of the second division, get beat early on that season in the League Cup as well at home. But I'm saying to myself, this is somebody's having a wind up here. And then when somebody phoned up and said, would you be interested? I'd left Liverpool at the time. And checked it out and said, yeah, he's genuine, he's got a few quid.
Yeah.
I said, well, we need to have a conversation first. So we had the conversation, and the most important thing I said to him was, Tony Parks has got to stay. I'm not going to clearly place it. I need somebody in there that knows what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that's where it started from. So it was Mr. Fox that was the old chairman. And unfortunately, I don't think he was there to see it through.
Right. Brilliant times. I mean, incredible. I always remember Kenny saying, I mean, we never had a training ground. I've been through all this before on here. We used to train go to the old Ewood Park, and it was not in great condition. And we used to travel to a park like Tony Parks, and the coaches would get up there early and clear the shit off the pitch. It was like a non-league club. But the people in the building who were there were absolutely top drawer. And that is what it means. I always remember Kenny saying, it's not about the facility, it's about the people in it. And that's absolutely right. Now, I've been to some clubs since, and it seems to be all about the facility and, less about what's on the pitch. It's all about what happens on the grass. It's great to have the facilities. Of course it is. And everyone wants a new stadium and the fans want to go. But, we talk about Man United now. They're not winning games because they've got a hole in the roof there at Old Trafford. It's because they're not getting it right on the pitch. And they can't use it as an excuse. And we never use it as an excuse. We could have easily have done that, but we never. And we just kept driving in the same direction. And it eventually got us. And I think it was probably the making of us, probably part of that camaraderie that the facilities were just horrendous, weren't they?
I remember the first day we were in for training. Tony Parks said, we've got to book a pitch at Pleasington. And I went, yeah, well, on you go. He said, do you want sand or grass? I said, what do you mean sand? And when you went down to the pitch, it must have been just assuming here that somebody'd nicked a car or something, and they'd go down and you would go to the pitches, and they were all like, it must have been doing the handbrake turn.
Yeah.
You just drive down, and there wasn't about the pitches. And you turn up, and the pitch is covered in tracks of people who had been out the night before, joyriding. But listen, that's what it was. With 2 or 3 places we could go. We went to school, didn't we?
Yeah.
KGV, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then another place. And Ray used to put me up on the shoulders, and I used to have the spanner putting the goals together. When we finished, we had to take them down, and we put the goal posts over there, the crossbar over there, and the long grass, so nobody could find them and nick them.
Pep and Jurgen don't do that now. No. When I first went there, I remember when I was thinking, because you remember Kenny as a player. I remember him scoring all them goals at Highbury when I used to go and watch Arsenal. I just think, man, I hate him. He's just so good. And I swear to you, I think you were 39, I think that's it. But it must have been alarming to you that you were still the best player. When you joined in, but
at the beginning there wasn't much opposition, was there?
No, I know, but it must be alarming when you take over as a manager of a club and you are the best player.
No, the most important thing was getting a 5-a-side at the end of the game.
Yeah,
then we could get a game.
Did you play in those 5-a-sides?
We played.
Yeah.
We could not stop until his team won.
Really?
And if we won, then, you didn't want to upset him too much if you weren't on his team, because then you wouldn't play at the weekend. Tony Parks used to be scared. He used to be scared of Kenny. Kenny used to be shouting at him, that's you're cheating, Tony. He said, why would I cheat? It was incredible. I mean, just the atmosphere. I mean, we had, how many tear-ups do you have with players get pulled apart? You see, we trained like it was a Saturday afternoon. That is how we got taught to play. Competitive, need to win. You need to win everything. If it's a race from here today, you need to win. And that was what he instilled into us. And he used to say, you show me a good loser, I show you a loser. I've got all these sayings and all come from that man.
But there was a thing in when Arsene Wenger went to Arsenal. They were talking about the importance of eating properly and training, and how fitness guys come in. We were Blackburn, and we were doing it. They were doing it before I went there. Mm. They used to share a fitness coach with Sheffield United. So he'd come to us a couple of days and go to Sheffield United a couple of days. And he used to come back and do the lads. They were brilliant.
Keep an eye on Blackburn now. Do you still watch their games or check the results?
Yeah, check the results. And if they're on the telly, I'll watch the game.
Right.
But it's no the same place as what it was then. There was only, that will never happen again. A local man from the area has got enough money to put in to fulfil his dream, but also the dream for the other people for Blackburn. Because that's all, he was genuine. He was genuine, wasn't he? He wanted it for the people of Blackburn who had made his life. And he wanted to give them something back.
You hear about recently about managers, Todd Bowley, going in, and not the Man United guys at the moment, but going into a dressing room. Jack used to be in the dressing room before the game and after the game, but he would say, "How you doing?" and "unlucky" or "well done." That was it. He never had an opinion on the football. He would have one, but he never felt like it was that important. It was up to the manager to give his opinion on the football. He used to come in, they used to play penny up the wall with him before the game, and Kenny's almost saying, "Look, Jack, out. Now we're going. It's time to go work. We need to." And the boys loved him. They loved him, and it was just him. He built. I think success is built from the top, and players looking at who's in charge. And that man was just. He had one dream, and everyone just wanted, of course, for their own benefit, fulfill that dream. But he wanted to do it for him as well, and he put the infrastructure in there for us to be able to achieve it.
What about when we went to Jersey?
Yeah.
To play his team, he had an amateur team in Jersey.
Yeah.
We went over to play them. We drew one each, didn't we?
Yeah. We signed 4 of their players.
So
we was a bit worse for wear.
We went back the next. He took us out for lunch first.
Everything was paid for, wasn't it? Wherever we went in Jersey, we walk into there and they say, "Are you with Jack?" "Oh, no problem, done." Yeah. I bought a car, everything.
Incredible times, incredible memories that you have together. The last time that we saw you both publicly together was at the Sports Personality of the Year Awards, Kenny, when you won the BBC Lifetime Achievement Award. Where do you think that kind of ranks in terms of Kenny's long list of life achievements?
At the bottom. No, you don't ask me, you have to ask him. I mean, he's won so many honours. I mean, it's listen, it was an incredible achievement, obviously, and rightly that he got awarded it. And it was just a pleasure to be there alongside and the other people who were there. Jack Walker's grandchildren were there as well, a couple of them. So everyone. He's got a special place in everyone's hearts and minds, and it was right for everyone just to be recognising him, because we want to blow too much smoke up his backside. No. It's really because he gets shy with that. But it's we can only be. I mean, you have to ask Kenny. Is that one of your greatest achievements?
It's always nice to be recognised, but you're only there because of other people as well as yourself. If you don't have the proper people to work with and for, then you're not going to get anywhere, are you? So, I think Marina's done a better job than me. She does a charity, so that's a better job, more important than what I did. I did it because I love football, and the people that employed us were very good. I don't think I went anywhere where I was unhappy. Everywhere I've been has been really supportive and helpful, and some more successful than others, but it doesn't matter. And if somebody wants to give you recognition, well, that's their problem, no mine.
You mentioned your foundation there. I've always been hugely admired all of the money that you've raised, all of the work that you've done, all of the incredible.
No, that's not me. That's the women in our house. They do that.
Always followed it though. It's incredible. Right, we better get on to Liverpool, because I'm guessing that is the majority of people right now will want to be hearing your thoughts on Liverpool. When you came in before, Tim said to you, "Are you playing tomorrow?" And I thought he meant in the Liverpool game, and he meant golf, because of course there was some shots of you after the cup final, and Jurgen was asking you if you could play, and you look like you've got a really good relationship with him.
He's good as gold. He's brilliant, and he's right from day one. he said he was going to have, was it, it wasn't rock and roll football, what was it?
Yeah, something like that. It was heavy metal.
Heavy metal.
Yeah.
Heavy metal. And by the way, he's been brilliant. And although there's a huge disappointment amongst the Liverpool fans that this is going to be his final season, there's still a huge amount of gratitude as well towards him and acceptance. So whatever he wants to do, they'll stand by him and they'll accept what he's going to do. The problem is, how does the club go forward? But he's put it in a fantastic place.
The win on Sunday, I know, meant so much to the Liverpool fans partly because, of course, the team that was out there, partly, of course, because it's his last season as well. Where do you think that kind of ranks in his success, given the situation and the injuries and the young players?
No, it doesn't matter what goes into it. It's just at the end of the day, when you've got a cup competition, the league championship, and it says winners at it, and it's Liverpool, that's all that matters. It doesn't really matter how you get there. It's just getting there and winning. And what he's done, I mean, when you look at the team that ended up on the pitch, and during the game, I think there was about 5 or 6 kids that had been at the academy. 2 of the guys that were on at the end were first-year apprentices, first-year professionals. So it's a fair bit of achievement when you look about what they were playing against and the amount of money it cost Chelsea to get their players in.
Yeah.
It might not be right to judge somebody that cost nothing or somebody that cost a fortune, but they boys come on with a great attitude and were really confident and very competent.
Yeah.
And when Dan's hit, he almost scored. I mean, imagine he'd scored the goal there.
Yeah.
Or Bobby Clark had scored.
Yeah.
2 of them would begin home with their dads and said, "Oh, remember I scored at Wembley. Have you ever scored at Wembley?" Because their dads were both ex-players. So, no, it's a fantastic atmosphere in and around the football club, and around the stadium, and that's the most important thing. And if there is a problem, it's sorted behind closed doors.
Yeah, it means so much to bring them academy boys through, because I've come from that part on the development side. Alex Inglethorpe's done a brilliant job, but he also he develops them as men as well. He tells them, you need to keep your feet on the floor. You know, we don't want to drive these flashy cars at the moment. Leave the earrings away. Keep the phones out of the place. It's about playing football and wanting to be on that pitch like Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's showing them the example. He's the one who's moved forward. And them boys come with the right attitude. When you look at them, they don't look big-time Charlies. They look like they just want to play for Liverpool, and that's it. And that's the be-all and end-all. And I think Inglethorpe would have the proudest. He would have even felt more proud than Jurgen Klopp, I would suggest, after that game. To see them boys go on there and be trusted by a top-drawer manager like Jurgen Klopp to go on there and do the job. It wasn't, all right, yes, he's there on the bench because they had to, because there's been a lot of injuries, but during the game and in extra time, he actually believed that they would go on and affect the football match. And he sent them on. And Chelsea, it was a 50-50 game, 90 minutes, but in extra time it wasn't. You know, all of a sudden, they looked like Van Dijk, Kanate have just said to the rest of them, you push on, we'll deal with these 2v2, and they outnumbered. Like, I thought Liverpool had more players on the pitch, and everyone's coming back and saying, yeah, but Chelsea had a young team as well. But had a young team who cost a gazillion pounds, who've had a lot more experience of playing top-level football. It doesn't matter what age you are, but if you look at them kids who played, none of them started. I think it's 4 of them who haven't played 90 minutes football for Liverpool yet. So actual minutes on the pitch at high level, there was no comparison. And you have to give Jurgen Klopp, Alex Inglethorpe, and the rest of the academy coaches a huge amount of credit.
And the Liverpool fans going so excited by the young players. But
well, the support was unbelievable. Yeah. As soon as the 3 subs came on, the 3 kids came on, the volume in that stadium went through the roof. And that, I'm sure that was the supporters saying, well, we'll encourage them. We'll show you that you're welcome and we support you. Yeah. And the help they give them doesn't have to reflect much or a lot to what happens on the pitch. Yeah,
I think all football fans just love seeing players that have come through their academy that classes our own as well.
Well, it's good when they see the ones who come through who actually done well, but I think from my experience, it's always very difficult for them to gain recognition. I mean, when I was managing there at Tottenham, if we didn't sign a player who ended in an I or an O, they would be a little bit disappointed. They want the sexy player. The one who comes from abroad who no one knows anything about, rather than the kid from the academy. But eventually, if the kid from the academy gets the opportunity, you cut him in half, he'll bleed the colour of the club, especially at Liverpool. It's red.
Oh. It's sad when you've got to explain.
That's your fault.
The kids did incredible, but Van Dijk did incredible as well. I mean, how important is he to that side now?
Well, he's vital. I mean, he's the one that he looks up to, but he's no anything other than constructive with the kids, encouraging with the kids, and get them on. He'll tell them when it's wrong, but he's not going to remonstrate in front of 80 or 90,000 people to the kids. He's going to encourage them. And he scored the goal, especially after having one knocked off, which I still can't understand now. But anyway, they got it, and a minute to go. That's a great time to score. That's a great time to score.
Yeah, the disallowed goal was weird. What did you make of it?
It was wrong.
Yeah.
Just finding ways to disallow goals. I mean, it was totally wrong, in my opinion. And I was delighted, actually, that Van Dijk actually got what he deserved and was the winning goal. And especially with so many of the kids and Jurgen. I mean, we're going to miss him. I mean, it's going to be a hard act to follow, especially if they go on and win the 4 trophies. Who wants to go in there and do that? I mean, everyone wants to manage Liverpool, but good luck to anyone who goes in there after Jurgen Klopp. Because even if they don't win the 4, it's a big act to follow. And not just what he delivers, but the charisma, the personality, what he's brought to Liverpool as a city. Amazing. Good luck to anyone.
Do you think Liverpool can do the 4, Kenny?
Well, they're the only team that's got a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a big factor is going to be the injuries and how that triggers its way. I mean, you see the guy get injured on Sunday, Gravenbach, he's off in crutches.
Yeah.
So they've been mounting up, and it's been unavoidable. I mean, there's only one striker there, really. He's, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Diaz, that's only one there on Saturday, experienced one. So and he looked as if he was struggling at the end. So where they go, I don't know. They just need to get somebody with magic fingers and cure them. But whoever it is that plays, you can guarantee they're going to give it a lot. And I think Jurgen goes, everybody's got a tinge of disappointment, obviously, or more than a tinge, but what's best for him was good enough for him in everybody's eyes, because what he's done for the football club, you're eternally grateful for. And it's up to people, whoever gets in to do that, then I would have thought it's very negative to say, oh, how can you follow him? Well, just be yourself and go in. You've got 90% of the good ingredients to make it a success for you. If you don't want to come and never go, well, we've made the wrong decision. But if you come in there and you've got all that to work with, and you trust yourself, and you've got a proper staff, I think it's a great job to get.
Oh, no one will turn it down. But to emulate him would be...
Oh, no, you're not talking about emulating anybody. You're talking about being yourself.
Being yourself,
just go and do it.
You still need to win to be able to do that. No one will turn that job down. No one in world football, I would suggest, would turn that job down. Pep might.
But I don't know. So I don't know where they're going to go. You'll not get somebody like him, but you may get somebody that's successful, but in another way. But I think it's pretty obvious that the relationship he's got with the fans is important. And the next guy coming in, if he gets the same relationship, then he's off to a good start.
Would you like to see somebody that already maybe has a relationship with the Liverpool fans?
Oh, I'd just like to see somebody that knows what Liverpool's all about and good at their job. And time will tell if he can bring success. But the people that own the club have been fantastically supportive in many, many ways. Financial's obviously the big one, but they've also redeveloped 3 parts of the stadium. It's magnificent. They've got £100 million training ground. Anytime they've got the money to spare, you can have it as a manager to buy players. And they've been hugely supportive. So you're coming into somebody that wants to be successful.
Who is that decision maker now at the club?
For money?
For the players and for the new manager. Because Michael Edwards has obviously left. The other guys moved on as well, or leaving at the end of the season. So do they need to fill that position first, the sporting director?
People do it different ways, don't they? They bring a sporting director first, then they bring a manager in. No, for me. It would be the other way about. But at the end of the day, you have a look through what Manchester United are going through at the moment. They're bringing a sporting director in. Have they consulted with the manager? Are you happy to work with him? Or, and if I would have thought, if I'm Ten Hag and they've bringing in a sporting director and I wasn't happy with him, I would have thought, I think you better book your flight home, pal.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, that's modern day, though, isn't it? Happened to me. To be fair, I didn't want a sporting director, but I ended up getting one. And
no, but it's important to have a sporting director. But it's also important for everybody who's involved in developing the football team, right? Have you be your own place? Yeah. You're no manager. You're a sporting director.
Yeah.
So you do your job, I'll do my job, and if we all do our job to the best of our ability, you got a better chance of being successful. If you don't, if you go ahead and try to interfere with other people's job, you're not going to be successful.
No.
Because it becomes internal strife.
Yeah, I think United have made their decision on their manager. Whatever happens between now and the end of the season.
What do you think that is?
Well, he's going to go, isn't he? I mean, he's had 2 years of it. He's not improved anyone. They're in a desperate position in the league. And I think they will get rid of him and make a decision. They need to see something. He spent a lot of money, not all the money, but he spent a lot of money on players, and the players that he's brought in have been not great either.
But I think there's not any clubs that actually define who brings what in and who does what financially. I mean, I don't know who would go and negotiate the transfer fee. But once, surely, they ask the manager, what one do you want to pick? Which one would you have in? Surely. Because if they weren't asking me, he's well going out. He's well leaving, because it's not your choice then, is it? Yeah. But you're the one that's going to be judged on the results. So, I worked with Damien Camoli. Was it Tottenham and you were there?
No, I weren't there, but I know Damien, yeah.
Good as gold. Honestly, good as gold. And he got his P45 at Liverpool. And the press said that he got the sack because the players at Liverpool signed. And we had a press conference, and I did the press conference for the game. And I said, before we start, I said, Damien Camoli and I'll sign one player for Liverpool. I signed him. Because they were all my choice. And not once did he try to bring somebody in that I didn't want. And I think that's the way it should work. I got the sack, mind you, but it didn't matter.
So I'll just be blaming him.
So Jim Radcliffe has said this week that he'd like to knock the enemies off the perch, meaning obviously Liverpool and City. Do you think that is possible? Can Man United turn themselves around? He's got to start
at West Ham and Wolves first, doesn't he?
Yeah.
They're
Tottenham, Villa.
Yeah, but I hope he's patient, because it'll take him a while to get to where the teams that he mentioned, to get to where they are and the standing they've got in football. I think it'll take him a wee bit of a while to get there, because it doesn't happen overnight.
Because, of course, it's still City and Liverpool and Arsenal battling for the league title. It's really tight at the top. Where is your thoughts right now on where the league's going to go? And I'll ask Tim first.
I don't think anyone's playing as well as Arsenal at the moment. If you want to go and watch a team at the moment, I think Arsenal are the team to watch. My worry is obviously the boring one, what everyone talks about, is they haven't got a number 9, they haven't got this poacher. But if they can continue playing, keep their bodies fit, I mean, Saliba and Gabriel at the moment are immense. I mean, Declan Rice has been a massive upgrade for them. And Saka, Odegaard, Martinelli, back to their best and sharing the goals around. I mean, he scored an enormous amount of goals, but it's just the games where the teams are going to sit back and they can't break them down. They're not their free-flowing best. They haven't got that Erling Haaland who would just score a scruffy goal and win them the game. I think that is where it might let them down. But if they continue playing like they're doing, last year they led and they bottled it in the end. I think they might be better chasing. You know, sometimes you lead and take, but we know what it's like. We're doing both, and I think they might benefit from that. So if anyone's going to beat Liverpool or Man City, it's obviously going to be Arsenal. It's a three-horse race, in my opinion. But I would say Arsenal would a threat. I really do.
Do you think Arsenal are the biggest threat to Liverpool?
No, they're not the biggest, because Man City are in there as well. And Liverpool, the biggest threat to Liverpool could be injuries if they don't get it. But for me, Arsenal have got to go to Manchester, haven't they? They've got to play Man City, which is a big game. I don't know why people don't think Arsenal have got a vested interest in it and they're a threat. Of course they're a threat. And they're a threat because they deserve to be a threat. But there's a lot of water to pass under the bridge, and if they're starting to get their players back that were injured, and we're starting to lose ours, and it could be vital. Man City, obviously, they'll be right in the thick of it. I mean, it's fantastic that you've got three teams as good and as great quality as those three, challenging for a league position in the title. You don't get that in too many countries, do you?
It'd be decided on the head-to-heads, wouldn't it? You would suggest. I mean, when I look at their fixture, I know it's not always like that, but you look at the fixture and you think, well, Liverpool got the best running.
Well, I would hope it was decided on head-to-head and no somebody come up and say it was VAR that cost them the game.
Yeah.
Because have a look at yourself first. If you look in the mirror, you usually get the answer to your problem, don't you?
Mm.
But let them see how they got on with themselves. But it's a great competition, and the three teams are an absolute credit to the Premier League. And whoever wins it deserves to win it because they've got the more points.
Yeah.
The more points you get, the more successful you'll be. So at Arsenal, there's no doubt. They say they've not got a centre forward. Imagine they had a centre forward. It would have been miles in front if they had a centre forward.
Mm.
But they don't need a centre forward.
Mm.
They're getting the results. They've found a way to play, and they've been very successful at it.
Mm.
City go to Anfield in under 2 weeks. As a City fan, Kenny, if you gave me a draw right now, I'd snap your hand off. Would you take a draw there to keep Liverpool's lead, or do you want to see Liverpool beat City at Anfield?
Well, no, I want to see them beat everybody at Anfield or away from home. Doesn't matter as long as they beat them. But no, City have been fantastic. They're coming to Anfield for a game. They've got to win it. They win. A most telling factor is what you do head to head, and if you don't do it yourself and win the games, you're looking for somebody else to do you a favour. Who's going to do you a favour? They can beat anybody they want. Arsenal or Man City could beat whoever they want. So you're getting an opportunity to get it done for yourself. If you do it, you're giving yourself a great chance.
Them two managers, Pep and Jurgen, I mean, head-to-head for so many years now. You had the similar thing when we was at Blackburn and obviously Liverpool with Sir Alex Ferguson. But it was a bit of difference. I think it's more spice then. I think there's without doubt, you and him had mutual respect for each other. But did you not like him? Was it? No, I don't not like him, but was it niggly? Was there something underlying there with Sir Alex?
No, he's got to represent his club, right? He represented Manchester United fantastically well. I've got to represent my team, my club, and if you don't do that, you're letting the supporters down, and you're letting the owners down. So be realistic. But there's no way in this world was there anything untoward.
Just mind games. Everyone used to talk about mind games. I used to think you used to play the mind games as well as he did.
Yeah, but you did what you had to do, didn't you?
Yeah.
You did what you have to do, and you just take it and leave it. But After the game, there's no problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely no problem whatsoever.
As long as you won.
Aye.
It's like people
No,
used
but
to talk about Arsene Wenger. Did he come in after the game?
No,
No, I say we come in if they won. So
I don't know.
I used to see a lot of him.
No, he's a good fella too, and he was a really, really good coach.
Yeah.
Revitalised Arsenal. But no, you got to stand your corner.
Yeah.
If you don't stand your corner, you're letting everybody down.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't want to put you in an awkward position, Kenny, so I'm going to ask Tim. A lot of times on this podcast, we'll get people's favourite players that they've played with or favourite players that they've played against or managed. So I'm going to ask Tim for his most memorable Liverpool players, and then we'll get your opinion on it. Because I wouldn't want to put you, because I know you'll have so many, I don't even think you could probably choose.
Question is Premier League, isn't it?
Yeah, okay.
Right, because the game wasn't invented before the Premier League. Do we know that? We've already given through this.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it didn't. But the Premier League greatest Liverpool players.
Yes, yours.
Mine.
Yes, yours.
I'm saying Alisson in goal.
Okay, great.
I am saying Trent right back, homegrown, been through it, range of passing, quality he possesses, drive, wants to be a Liverpool fan, all of that. I can't think of another one who really. I mean, Kenny will obviously pull me up when he's thinking about it now. Virgil has to be in there for me. I'm going Sami Hyypiä.
Okay.
Alongside him. I'm going Robertson.
Okay, right. Stop there then at your defence. We'll see what Kenny thinks of Tim's defence.
Ain't bad.
I don't see why the relevance is you can only be good if you played in the Premier League. What happened before that? I mean, the teams we played in. Well, there's a few stats that they might remember.
No, I agree with you. But
going through a full season and losing only 16 goals out of 42 games.
Yeah,
it's no bad start, is it?
So
then scoring 86 goals in 42 games.
Right, I've changed it. Phil Neal, Alan Hansen.
But
I know that team as well as the team I do now.
But if you're talking about, if you're only going to start the Premier League, then Alisson's the best goalkeeper in the world. But I think you've got a young goalkeeper coming through that was plays fantastically well on Sunday. Amazing. In the cup final. 2 really good saves, 1-on-1. He's not the worst either.
Yeah, very good. And he can play, can't he?
He was an outfield player till he was 15.
Was he?
Aye. That's why they were happy when he was to take the last penalty last year, 2 years ago. But it might be frustrating for him at the moment. Obviously, Alisson, if he's fit, is going to be first choice. But Callahan's been fantastic. And he's got a good record with penalties.
Yeah.
I mean, he usually saves one, but he never saved any that day when he scored the winner.
Oh, he didn't?
No.
Oh, they missed it.
I never saved one. It was 11-10, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, you can have whatever you want.
Anyone can play in defence, can't they? You know, let's move forward to the more attractive players.
Well, I mean, I think the midfield's probably going to be easy, isn't it?
Well, Stevie has to be in there for me. And I'm picking a player, and I know people from the outside are going to go, "What?" But I could tell you the reasons, but Kenny would be better at telling them. I got Jordan Henderson in there. For me, the greatest captain Liverpool's had in the Premier League era.
Better captain than Gerrard.
Do you know why? Because they won the Premier League. Stevie's brilliant, obviously fantastic, and they won the Champions League. They won the Champions League with Stevie, but I think Jordan gives you, from a captain's perspective, he gives you more than just what you see on the pitch, and Stevie might have done as well. But Jordan looks like he knows what's right and wrong, and he'll be a manager's dream because he'll stick him in line and push him in the right direction of how to play for Liverpool, and this is what the demands are from the manager. And Kenny signed him, and you must have seen traits like that more than his.
No, I went to watch a game, and I think the game was finished up 0-0. It was boring anyway, and he was the only one that made a pass. I said to Stevie, I think we'll have a go for him. So he's a good boy as well. And the way that he got the other captains in and around and got donations raised and raises the fund for everybody tells you that he's quite humane as well. Stevie, obviously, he's got his been there.
Yeah,
but I would have stuck Alonso in as well somewhere.
Yeah, I was thinking about Alonso, but I might have him.
You should have thought a lot longer.
Yeah, the one I put in, you wouldn't argue with. Alongside,
I'm not arguing with any of them yet.
John Barnes.
Oh, Barnes.
You still want Alonso?
But listen, they're all out of attack.
Well, no one's
if you only want two in there, you're all right.
No one's gotten the ball off us.
That's all right. Jordan will get it back.
Yeah, we need one to get it back. How good is John Barnes?
Oh, when he came, it was before the Premier League started, so you wouldn't have any knowledge of that.
Oh, I do, because he was at Watford.
He was at Watford, but he was. He came and I think they played the first 3 games, league games away from home. There was structural problems with the Kop, but he was fantastic. And QPR came to Anfield, top of the league.
Them slalom goals he scored. Yeah,
we beat them 4, and he was unbelievable. He was unbelievable. Great footballer.
Yeah.
Great mind for the football as well. Gave them everything. And by the way, to move up for London isn't the easiest thing. But he came up and settled in,
and still there, by the way.
He's still
there. That says everything.
He still lives in.
He still's up there, isn't he?
He's up here.
Still up there. I mean, that says everything, because he took on board what it meant to the people. I was with him last week. He talks as if he's a Scouser, not in accent wise, but that's the way he's Liverpool people, salt of the earth. He just talks like this, all the time. I mean, he's forgot where he's come from. Good luck to him. I mean, the club gave him everything.
Did you tell him that you were going to put him in your all-time?
He would know. He would take it for granted.
He told you.
Yeah.
Okay. So
can I go back to one thing you just said when you Jordan Henderson, right? You didn't actually go and watch him play, did you? That is a dying art. The managers now do not go and watch football matches of other teams. You know that. I mean, how on earth do they sign players? I find it strange how they cannot. How do you sign? I mean, tell people, Ken. I mean, it's incredible. You need to see it with your own eyes and trust them, yeah?
I would go and watch a player.
Yeah. You'll never see Jurgen Klopp at a game watching a player, would you? Only the ones he played against, playing up against them.
But you see Moisey, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Maybe it's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
That's up to themselves. Do what you do, innit? It's your decision. If you want to go, you go. If you don't, you don't. I'm more comfortable going to watch them.
Me too.
Then you can see them, and that was it. But each one to their own.
You trust the eyes over the stats, obviously. Some people trust the stats because they haven't got the eyes to know what they're looking at.
Yeah, but also the stats don't tell you everything, do they? I mean, you could go and watch it, and maybe after the game, the stats wouldn't be too encouraging.
Yeah.
But I would go with what I'd seen.
Yeah.
What I'd seen on the pitch, and take it for there. And the stats are there for you to have a look at. But I mean, I think they've been. Maybe I'm getting. Well, I'm old, but maybe I'm getting old-fashioned. The amount of people that give their opinion because of the stats.
Yeah.
So
because they don't know what they're looking at.
But they don't know what they're looking for. And also the stats, you could say that he was through 1-on-1 with the goalie.
Yeah.
Right? Keeper saved it.
Yeah. And then,
but it wouldn't tell you there was a guy. But it wouldn't tell you there's a guy standing square.
Yeah. And you've got to roll it.
Did you see him?
Yeah.
And if they said no, just say, well, do you not think you should lift your head up? So stats can be interpreted whatever way you want. It can be interpreted to help you or hinder you. But your eyesight, if you go and watch a game, that tells you everything, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's a great question. We've had so many people on the podcast that have talked, or ex-managers that have talked about not even being involved in signings anymore. So, yeah.
Well, that's why they don't go and watch. Waste of time, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get to your attack. And again,
sorry.
Salah's in there, right?
Mo Salah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he has to be, doesn't he? I mean, he just stands up, plays in the big games, scores the goals. Sometimes don't square them. But, I mean, he's top drawer.
Okay.
Really, really. I mean, how can he not be in there with the numbers? I got another one, another old guard in there, don't I? Steve McManaman.
Okay.
Now, when I used to play against Steve, I used to try and kick him all the time. I just couldn't catch him. He was quicker with the ball than without it, and he drift into positions, in little sneak positions behind the midfield, and then when he picked the ball up, he just take it away and take the pressure off the team. I loved him as a player. I think he's a great lad as well, but I don't come into it. Forget him. I'd rather someone be horrible and brilliant. But he was a good lad, and he was a fantastic player. I just liked his qualities. I really did, and I think you don't go wrong.
But he never really played up front, did he?
No, we got him off.
He was a luxury. He was a luxury midfield player, wasn't
he? Yeah. I got him off the. Where have I got him? In the half space.
Wherever you want him.
Well, Jesus, that's right. So what's your other one?
I feel like you're really being scrutinised. Your team's
really.
I like it.
I'm only asking.
What's my other one?
I like it.
Luis Suarez.
Yes.
Mate, horrible. And that's the biggest compliment I could give him. Horrible. Just do anything to win the game. You want him in your side. You want him on your team. When you look at him, if you went and scouted him, people would go, "Ooh, not great looking to the eye. Not really tidy, not technically brilliant." But you just look at it's just, that's all lies. Because when you actually look at the numbers and what he produces and how he affects football matches and actually drives the opposition mental, because they all just want to get to him. He's just an incredible team player, and you want him on your side. Any team would want him on their side.
Do you know what he used to do? He dribbled, and he used to. It looked as if he was going for a nutmeg, right? Probably was as well, but playing it off people's legs, and it came back to him. He used to go, "Oh, he's lucky," but he did it that often.
Yeah,
he couldn't be lucky.
Yeah,
it must have been. He must have did it for a purpose. Yeah. And the purpose was he was almost like playing a 1-2 with somebody. Yeah.
So, I always think that about them South American boys. Almost like they just, they're in kids kicking shit out of each other in an alleyway, playing with a tennis ball if they can find it, if not a rock, like Messi, low centre of gravity, move. And I just think that Suarez is exactly like that. I mean, you're absolutely right. Nothing tidy about him. Just scruffy, wasn't he? He wasn't
scruffy. He was. By the way, he was a good goal scorer.
Oh, no, numbers suggest that.
It was a nuisance to play against.
It's horrible.
But
kind.
But how do you pick three people to play up front out of what Liverpool have had? Rush, Fowler.
Well, you was in there, but we couldn't have you because
I never played in the Premier League.
I know, we couldn't have you. Couldn't have Rushy either.
Did he not play in the Premier League?
Newcastle, possibly.
He scored the winner at Goodison in the Cup, third round.
Beardsley. There's so many who missed out. Fowler. Mate, how on earth do I miss him out? Michael.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he's
Robbie was really natural as a finisher.
Yeah.
Jeez.
When you say natural, do you think he's born like that then?
Robbie, people freeze when they get in front of goal. He's just relaxed. The goalie was freezing.
Yeah. But Robbie, he'd never freeze anywhere, would he?
No.
Relaxed everywhere.
Aye.
Yeah.
But goal scoring, natural ability, just he was a rushy. They've been lucky. I mean, you don't have the success as a football club without having great players, do you?
Yeah.
And how would you ever be able to pick a team? And no big confrontation or argument?
No, it's impossible.
Going through it, you can't do it.
So we give you one player, an ex-Liverpool player who's not there anymore, including yourself, any player at their best to put in that side now to give them a push to win the Premier League? It's a gift from you to Jurgen from now to the end of the season.
A gift? Souness.
Yeah.
Souness if he could run.
Yeah,
he couldn't run there.
We don't matter. At his best, they got that choice. And you taking the armband off of Virgil for Graeme?
No.
Huh?
You never said anything about armband.
No, but he's obviously, if he wants to go on there, I think he wants to be the main man. If Virgil's got the armband.
But when he came at first, we'll go back to when he first arrived.
Emlyn.
He didn't want to be the top man. He was just happy to be there. Right? If you want to leave the armband with Virgil, leave it. But he did a fantastic thing, Graeme. More to reflect what you were talking about earlier about the
Paddy Antish.
Within a football club, right? 84 all Bobs last season. We won the League Cup. And Graeme went, Bob, you go first, up the steps at Wembley. Nobody had ever done it before.
Yeah.
And that was a reflection on his respect for old Bob.
Yeah.
Right? And obviously, gratitude as well for bringing him there. And I thought that was one of the best decisions he ever made.
Yeah. I'm sorry I've never done that to you in 94, 95.
But I'd been up there before.
Of course you had.
I wasn't leaving.
I wonder why you ain't run me since.
No, but I thought that epitomises everything about Liverpool. I mean, it's a huge honour for a captain to walk up these stairs and get a trophy.
Yeah.
But for him, he's forget himself.
Had he done it before, though?
Oh,
probably
20
times before.
I can't remember, but to do that, it doesn't matter if you've done it before. Just today, invite Bob to go up and do it.
Great. So why him? Is that something you need in the team at the moment? It's a little bit of a void.
You might know.
Everyone needs him. Yeah.
The opposition might not finish with the same 11 they started with. No, but even to be in and around the dressing room.
Yeah.
His mentality. And the way he went about it.
He does say the same about you, you know that. He does.
He's talking rubbish.
I have to ask you, before we move on from talking about Liverpool, because the Liverpool fans will be currently screaming at me wanting to know, do you have somebody in mind you'd like to take over after Jurgen? Are you keeping your eye on anybody? Or who do you think? Who do you... They'll want to know what you think, Kenny.
Well, I just think the people that appointed Jurgen made a fantastic decision, and it'll be the same people that's appointing the next one. So if they got it right the first time, there's no problem, is there? You get it right twice. I mean, it's all right in hindsight, isn't it? You look back and you think, obviously it was only natural that they go for Jurgen Klopp. Is it not?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
But no, really.
I remember the 1-1 draw at home at Anfield to West Brom, was it? Last minute equaliser when he takes all of them linking hands up to the top. I was thinking, mate, what's this guy doing? Just got a draw. It's the worst draw ever. And look at him now.
Aye.
You know, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
He's got a wee idea.
Celtic.
Yeah.
So Rangers have leapfrogged Celtic in recent weeks.
I'll take your word for that.
How are you feeling about Celtic's season?
No, they've gone through a bad patch at the minute, I think, compared to what happened previously. But Clement's done a great job at Rangers. His only game he's lost was against Celtic. And that was a wee bit nip and tuck as well. So Celtic have got it all on. It's they've lost went out the cup at Kilmarnock, lost the league game at Kilmarnock, and Kilmarnock drew with them at home. They lost to Hearts at home, but Rangers just turned them over 5-0. So they need to get theirself in tune. But at the moment, you say Rangers would be favourites, and there's 2 Old Firm games to come. And that could be vital. But it's not. It's normal. Vital. Normally, it's vital anyway.
Yeah. For a manager, you did it, Kenny. Is it different when you go back to the same club?
I think football's moved on a wee bit, but certainly it moved on a bit.
Would the environment change?
When I went back, aye. The set-up and all the different people you've got working for you and one thing and another. But I think the ingredients to being a successful team and a successful club are basically the same, isn't it? I mean, it's got to do with people and ability and how you go about that and how you go about working with the people that are there and how the people that are working there do their job properly. So things change, but if you don't move with it, you're going to be left behind, aren't you? But I mean, you're going back, but I wouldn't think there's too many players, if any, at Celtic that Brendan had whilst he was there. McGregor, maybe, the captain. Yeah. So you're going back. It's like going into a new environment. It's the same place, you know it, but it's you're going back and also with a new squad of players. And you're trying to get your best out of them. I mean,
the intensity's not changed from when you played there to now, is it? I mean, it's just your first or last, no?
Neither's a principle, is it?
Yeah.
So either Rangers or Celtic for the success.
Yeah.
And he knows surely if you've been there, you know what it's about. When you go back, you still know what it's about.
Yeah.
You've got all that education that you got whilst you were there and huge success as well. So it comes down to what happens on the pitch.
Feels like no one should be writing them off yet, though, even if
Rangers you can't. No,
that's 2 points, huh?
Aye. Yeah. But he's done really well. Come on. He has.
With the same group of players what Michael Bill had.
No, he had a couple of signings.
Did he? They must have been good signings.
They had a couple of signings. But they have done well. I mean, and they're still in Europe. Last 16.
Yeah.
So he's had a good year. Well, I don't think he's even been there a year.
That was he? So he's taking a bit of credit for that decision as well, hasn't he?
He was on the panel. Interview panel.
I'm giving him all the credit to his face.
Joe Hart announced his retirement at the end of the season this week. I read, Kenny, when I was reading about that he's only the third player to win all 3 major trophies in England and Scotland. He's done it. Andrei Kanchelskis has done it. And do you know who else has done it, Tim?
Probably Kenny.
Probably Kenny, yes. Kenny. So he's been a real huge asset to Celtic since he arrived.
He certainly has. I mean, I'm surprised that he's retiring. He's only 37, isn't he? I can't see...
A goalie, yeah.
Aye. It's not as if he runs about a lot.
No.
And playing at Celtic, it's the biggest trait he needs is to be concentrated because he don't see much of the ball. Celtic got most of it. But he's played his part really at Celtic since he's been there. And he's done tremendously well. And by the way, that's another problem we're going to have next year, getting a replacement for him. I would have tried to convince him to stay.
Are you going to pick the phone up, Kenny? Can you ring him?
I don't play in goal.
We keep chipping him. What you would if you see him now though, like any player, not only Joe, you just keep playing. You're a long time retired, aren't you? I mean,
especially goalkeepers.
Yeah, just play, just wring it out every last drop you got because there's nothing like playing, is there?
No. That's the best part of the footballing career, the footballing world, and the ones that are playing at the moment. It's difficult to see too many of them that will get into management. But obviously they will do. Everybody, they've got to get them from a football background. But there's not too many that you would say, like in the older days, you would say, oh, he's right into the football, and they get round and they'd be like that. They'd sit around a table and discuss the football and tactical and everything. I can't see too many of these players doing it, can you?
No.
It's the easiest job for them to get is punditry, isn't it?
Yeah.
They can get into that. They never lose a game.
No. I've never had a bad one
No,
since I've done this job.
you kept in for when you were playing.
I run out of them. Did you? So, which player have you managed who you thought he will be a manager? Certainty. Perhaps he never went into it. Was you happy?
I thought Shearer would have been a manager.
Yeah.
But how'd I go? Souness. There's not really too many.
Stevie?
I think
Gerrard?
Stephen, aye. But he got off to a great start. I mean, going to Rangers, doing well. Come down to Liverpool, Villa. But I think Stephen, if Jurgen had made the decision 2 or 3 years ago, Stephen would have been in there with a shout.
Yeah.
Whether he's still in the framework for them, I don't know, but he certainly knows the football club.
Of course.
But there's not that many. Cara, you'd have thought he'd have
Tim
been in
Sherwood?
management. But he's had a go. Tottenham was the best pitch, wasn't it? Tottenham Villa.
Yeah.
He must have upset somebody.
No, Tottenham was great. I mean, it's about players, isn't it? We had good players and just let them play and kept it nice and simple and won enough games. But I was only there for a short period. I always knew that when I went in.
But you never know. You don't know who's. It's important the person that's going in, but it's also important the person who he brings in to help him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the manager gets all the kudos. He's the one that's got to do the press conferences and everything else and sit in front of people. But the coaching staff are, well, for me anyway, they were hugely important. The players have got to be comfortable with it. Who's taking the training sessions? I mean, they go on the training pitch. They want to have everything organised, detailed, explained. And if you get people that do that, then you've got a good chance, especially people that know what they're talking about.
We always ask our listeners if they'd like to ask questions. You can imagine we've got quite a few, Kenny. We've picked out one from David Hopkins, and he says, "Are you prouder of your achievements on the pitch or in the dugout?"
I think any achievement you have, you're proud of, aren't you? I mean, we've got 4 children as well. So I don't think that was in the dugout or on the pitch. No, listen, any achievement you get, you start off your life as obviously wanting to be a footballer. Because if you're not too educated, you've got to do something, haven't you? So wanting to be a footballer, when you reach that, then you're very fortunate. You enjoy it. For me, any success you get is fantastic and it should be enjoyed. But the most important one's the next one. I don't think I've got any left.
I'm sure there'll still be plenty,
No,
Kenny.
no any jobs.
And Kenny come across so unbelievably humble, and always in interviews doesn't taking no credit there. All to the team. Is that a characteristic, do you think, of the people that are genuinely the greatest, genuinely the best?
Oh no, there's a few who are very, very good and very loud and shout about it. There's loads of them out there, but he's not one of them. No. He's always been like, he's just humble. He's just shy to take the praise. But I mean, I don't know anyone who wouldn't say that he's one of the greatest. Yeah, I mean, he obviously is. He knows that. But the best signing he ever made was his wife, Marina. She just texts me. I just go. But amazing.
Aye, I can't dispute that. Most expensive signing.
No resale value.
Oh, I was getting personal now.
Don't get back with it. She ain't gonna watch.
No, I won't get back.
So we always finish off with some sort of quick fire questions, but they're never quick, Kenny. We've got to stop calling it that. So this weekend, City take on United in the Manchester derby. A weird one for a Liverpool fan, I imagine. But are you hoping that Manchester United take some points off City?
Well, you hope that, but you can't see it. Can't see it. Manchester City are flying. United struggling a wee bit. Probably United will win.
Them days are gone, and when you say a derby, form goes out the window. It's different now, isn't it? I mean, because you can't set your stall out, can you? We talked about Souness and playing against Everton. It was a kick fest, wasn't it, for the first 15, 20 minutes? Even when I played, and when we played against London Derby against Arsenal, it was just a fight. We just tried to level the game out by being that. The way it's refereed and that now, it's just impossible, isn't it?
Oh, well, you've got television coverage as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got VAR, you've got all the closed circuit, everything's scrutinised.
Yeah.
But it is more difficult now, right, to read. Well, if you're playing City, they've got that many options.
Yeah.
But where do you stick your finger in to avoid the flood?
Yeah.
You can't, where do you go?
City
You've got to try and win it.
Every game, wouldn't they? If they wanted a fight, City would beat them up. You look at the personnel. City are big guys. The statue of some of them now. If they want to pass them, they'll pass them to death. If they want to counter-attack them, they will counter-attack them. That's their only chance, isn't it? United.
But the problem, I think, United had against Fulham was speed, wasn't it? I mean, they get caught a bit lack of pace. Casemiro's been a fantastically successful midfield player. But if somebody puts somebody against them, say just run off them, the boys are going to be struggling a wee bit. And you see them try to press Fulham. They couldn't press them.
Yeah.
They were getting caught out.
When you know that as a manager before you go out on the pitch?
Yeah, you would know it, but you're better to press them up there, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is it better to stop them up there or stop them when they get in and around the edge of your box?
Well, they were doing a half-eyed press up there, and then there was 70 yards.
Because one centre-back didn't want to step up.
Yeah.
If everybody stepped up and they're going, there's only same number on each side, isn't there?
Yeah.
So if you go 1 for 1, but one of them wanted to be spare.
So we're not holding much hope for United, are we, in the weekend?
I wouldn't think so.
You just have to take care of your own job.
It would be nice, but I wouldn't think so.
Oh, good. I'm happy to hear that. Who is the best player that you've ever managed?
Slippery.
I know exactly who that is. Why?
Why? I think it's in the name. Because he was a bit slippery, but that was good. He was like a school teacher and educating the young boys and the boys that were coming in to Blackburn. So a wee bit streetwise. But listen, every player that comes in, if they try the best for you, then you're grateful for them, because it's not necessarily down to the manager. It's down to the performance of the players on the pitch that gets everybody success and gets them some peace and quietness.
I would say Jordan Henderson has to be up there. Has to, for the service what he gave to that football club and success what they had, and unassuming. We're talking about someone who, like I talked about, his attributes. What are not only people only see him on a Saturday, but what he give in the background, I think, was what I tried to do at Blackburn with the boys who come in, just trying the camaraderie together. Difficult. I know we talked about us, but when there was no transfer window, there was no financial fair play, and I went in with the old guard, and we were bringing players in every day, and it was like their clothes were getting moved out of the dressing room, a new one was coming in, and it was a little divide there. It was
Where?
Blackburn. It was at times there was a few who were a little bit frosty that they were getting pushed out the door, and there was a few the new ones who were coming in. There was a bit of spite, but it soon got addressed. But it had to be addressed by the players itself, rather than can't always be the management and the staff.
I mean, really a huge important thing was Jack had the money, right, and was prepared to support what our thoughts were or what our opinions were. when we went for Shearer, it took it to a different level. I mean, the British transfer record. So him coming in to the dressing room made a huge difference, because the boys that were there, as you say, came through the years at Blackburn, and for them to turn up in the morning and the British transfer record was in the dressing room with them, it would take them a bit of time of getting used to. But his personnel and the way he went about it in the dressing room, he wasn't a Billy Big Time.
No.
He was just normal, wanted to laugh and a joke, and wanted to be successful. But I think that went a long way to help the dressing room as well. I mean, the dressing room was brilliant. Mike Newell was in the dressing room.
Yeah.
And they were talking about, were you in the dressing room that day? They're talking about going away somewhere at the end of the season. And they were wanting to speak to the wee secretary, wee John Howard.
Yeah.
And I remember the old dressing room. He walked along the corridor and he went in the door. Next door was into the fitness place, the treatment room, right? Newly locked that, right? Asked if wee John if he'd come along to have a word with the boys about what was happening at the end of the season. He came along, right? He pushed the door. He put a bucket of water up above the door, right? On a rope. So when wee John pushed it, he walked in, right? And the bucket went in, and he's standing there. He's soaking.
That's David Gill's equivalent, by the way.
Okay.
That's what you want to see. It tells you, right, the camaraderie within the place. And the wee man wasn't best pleased, was he?
Nah, he was fuming. And he had a grey suit on, didn't he? I remember it now. As if...
I don't remember his shirt with the glasses on his, like on the pocket. He had a shirt with a pocket on it, but it was somebody, the shirt design had drawn sunglasses on it as if you were on holiday. I was soaking as well.
I know we're moving off track, but when we used to travel away, everyone jumped out of the bus as quickly as possible and get as many keys as they could on the reception, and we'd go up there, even if it's the only room we never ever trashed was his. Everyone else was not safe, whether it was Jack's, the chairman's, the chief execs. They would get their beds put in their bath and everything before they get to the room, and I mean, it's childish. But were
you scared of Kenny?
Yeah, we just thought it wasn't the most intelligent thing to do, was it? Yeah, I still am.
But what about the driver's keys? They took the bus driver's keys as well.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It was just we did some things what people think you're lying, but it was actually true and very childish. And
the benefit of no phones, no cameras everywhere.
Exactly.
No, they did have a bit of fun. It was fun. It wasn't as a war against anybody. It was just fun.
But there was a line. But then we knew when we had to go to work.
Aye.
So that didn't carry on into the dressing room. As soon as we went in there, it was like, now it's work. Now we have to do what we paid for.
And you did.
Yeah.
They did, aye. And they did it very well.
We didn't get paid a lot.
Now, we cannot go without talking about Scotland, Kenny. Because, of course, I'm very, very excited about the Euros. You cannot hear it in my accent. I was born in Edinburgh. My dad was very excited to hear you coming on. How do you feel Scotland are going to do this summer?
Well, if they get through the first league round, it's going to be first time ever, isn't it? I've never done it before. But Stevie Clark's done a fantastic job there. It's unbelievable what he's done, and it's been progressing every year, and the team's getting better every year. To beat Spain in the qualifying section was unbelievable at Hampden. So once again, it depends. Germany they've been struggling a wee bit, haven't they? And the manager's only got his job until the end of these championships. We get them first game. I don't know what kind of state they're in. I've not seen them recently, but by the way, I've always said that any tournament we went to, if we'd been as good as the Tartan Army, we would have been very successful. But the Tartan Army was the best part of the Scotland trips. They were better than the players. And we never get through any stages. So for the boys to get through would be a fantastic reward for them and something that they deserve.
It's going to be the Tartan Army is going to be so big in
Oh.
Germany.
It's unbelievable when they go somewhere. And there's no any grief either. They go, they sing and enjoy it. We went to World Cup in '82 in Spain. And we were in the same group as Brazil. And we drive up and there's a match going on in the car park. Scottish fans against the Brazilian fans. It's just... I think
that didn't go down well.
They won. Scotland won. We get beaten the game, mind you, but we won in the car park.
Scotland beat Brazil, you heard it here. Have you got any who's your sort of players that you think are going to be key for Scotland to do well in the summer?
McGinn's done it. He's had a great career at Scotland. He makes a huge contribution with the goals. The one area where they might be a wee bit weaker is probably up front, but they don't really have a top line goal scorer, but they'll get somebody in there and it helps them, and they've adapted really well. They've got 4 or 5 across the middle and they can play, by the way, and they can get forward and they get goals. The midfield players get good. McTominay's banged a couple in. McGinn banged a couple in. The goals might be a problem. They're really well organised. Stevie's got them really well organised, and there's a great camaraderie in and amongst them. But you can see it's brilliant, and it's really well organised. Stevie's makes sure everything's organised. You know what you're doing before you go for training. You're not standing about waiting to see what's happening. Very thorough in his preparation for the games, watching the opposition. So, our fingers crossed to do better than what we did when we qualified, because we never got very far.
I feel really hopeful, and I don't know if I'm being naive, but I just feel like it's going to be a really good summer.
Well, where are you going? Somewhere on holiday?
Are you gonna go out to Germany? Will you be watching the games? I'm wondering if there might be a car park game we can get you involved in.
I'd need to be sub. No, I don't know if I'm going. But if I'm not, I'll be watching it. Hopefully in Spain.
In between golf.
Yes, definitely. And the final question, a nice general one to finish the podcast on. If you could invite 3 people from football out to dinner, who would you pick? Who would be your 3 people to go out for? Anybody in football?
I don't know. It would be people like the slippery might get
someone who would come.
It's different who you would ask, but who would actually turn up. It'd be 3 people that I'd played with. When Souness came to Liverpool, I remember him with he's known my kids since they've been taught as 2-year-olds or something. So it's a bit strange when you used to see him on the telly with your daughter working there. But he would be there because he's a good relationship with him. Slippery, maybe for the Blackburn thing. I think it would need to be more than 3 people at a table. But people that you can sit down and have a laugh and a joke with and talk football and know about themselves, about other people and have a laugh and a joke. That's more important than anybody else. And just to keep the peace, probably take the missus as well. Somebody's got to drive.
I can't imagine anyone's ever turned down a dinner invite with you, Kenny. I can't imagine they ever would.
Well,
still time.
Yeah, there has been a few.
So we have a Liverpool shirt here that I am touching, and we are going to run a competition on our YouTube. So if you are listening, get yourself over to YouTube, comment on the video. If you're on YouTube, comment on this video. We're going to pick somebody at random, and then we're going to get the shirt to Kenny, who's very kindly going to sign the shirt to you. So if you are not subscribed to our YouTube, get on there now. Get yourself a chance to win a Liverpool shirt to you from Kenny. So comment on this video on YouTube. Get over to YouTube if you're not on there already.
There'll only be 10 viewers. You should have got them all a strip each.
Could have had a team.
Kenny, thank you so much.
No problem.
It's been a real honour, real privilege. We're so thrilled to have had you here. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's nice to see Slippery again.
Thank you, Tim.
Pleasure.
Thank you so
Pleasure.
much for
Thank
being
you.
here. Thanks for
Gaffer.
being the best
Right.
standing gaffer that we have
That's it.
for us.
That's what I am.
Sam is back next week, but I'm sure he'll be on holiday again very soon, Tim. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you for joining us for another episode of No Tippy Tappy Football, brought to you by William Hill.